It is recommended to all listeners to follow the next steps before hearing these stories. If you're afraid of all the paranormal, but you want to hear these stories because you enjoy the adrenaline, I recommend you don't do it if you're alone. Don't listen to the stories with the lights off. If you are not afraid to hear the paranormal stories alone, make sure that you really are alone. Check that there is nothing weird under your bed or in the closet. Lock the doors and windows. Maybe today you can be a victim of the paranormal. Hello everybody. Welcome to a new chapter of the horror stories. Today we are going to talk about the epitaph more sinister on a tombstone. In a quiet, unremarkable area in a Salt Lake City cemetery sits a modest gravestone bearing an epitaph so bizarre that for many years it has inspired rumors, speculation, curiosity, and fear in everyone who comes across its eerie message. Unlike the other graves that surround it, which have common inscriptions like beloved husband, in loving memory, devoted mother, etc., this particular tombstone, placed for a woman named Lilly E Gray, reads, "Victim of the beast 666, a reference to the Antichrist as described in the Book of Revelations." But why? A long-time resident of Salt Lake City set out to discover the mystery. This person began with internet and local records, and in the process uncovered some fascinating clues as well as additional mysteries. For one thing, the inscription on the tombstone is not accurate. The cemetery's sexton's records note a single L in her first name, and a birth date of June 4, 1880, however, the stone reads, June 6, 1881. Is this an error, or was it changed intentionally to reinforce the Antichrist reference? In Lilly's brief obituary, we learned that her death at age 77, or 78, was due to natural causes. Who, then, would request such an ominous inscription for her grave? Lilly Gray's husband, Elmer Lewis Gray, might hold some of the answers. Lilly married Elmer when she was 72 years old, and he may have been incarcerated prior to their marriage. It was found records for an Elmer L. Gray's criminal pardons application in 1947. And also it was found in 1901 Ogden Standard newspaper clipping in which a man named Elmer Gray was arrested and sentenced to 5 days on the rock pile for stealing an umbrella valued at $3.50 from the Payne & Hurst Company. I have no way of knowing if this is the same Elmer Gray, but the date and his age seems to fit. Interestingly, Elmer is buried in the same cemetery, though in a plot far from Lilly's. Some propose that Lilly was a victim of a car wreck on Highway 666, which stretched through part of Utah. But I already spoke about this highway in the last video. During the period of time Lilly reportedly lived in Utah, she could have traveled on the highway, so the theory cannot be completely ruled out. Another theory suggests that Lilly was involved in Aleister Crowley's following in Salt Lake City. Crowley was a notorious occultist in the first part of the 20th century. It has been said Crowley referred to himself as the Beast 666, giving the theory that Lilly had been victimized by him in her husband's or other survivors' eyes some weight. But there exists information that Lilly did not move to Salt Lake City until 1950. Crowley died in 1947, which would have made it impossible for Lilly to have known him while in Salt Lake City. Perhaps the most intriguing and plausible theory it involves her husband, Elmer, who may have had mental problems. There are records of an Elmer Gray who had been arrested in Ogden for stealing an umbrella, but searches of vital records has uncovered multiple Elmer Grays living in Utah at the time. and Elmer Gray's application for criminal pardon in Utah hints at an anti-government belief system. Was it possible Elmer blamed the government for Lilly's death, referring to it as the Beast 666? Not enough information is readily available to come to a final conclusion on Lilly's case, but this one is the epitaph more sinister on a tombstone. Good night.